Welcome back to Forestside Cookery School. Stephen Jeffers here, and this is April already, believe it or not. And what we're going to do today is a bit of chocolate. Lent's over, Easter's just around the corner, so perfect. We're going to make a decadent chocolate mousse, which also can turn into a chocolate tart if you put a base on it actually, and leave it for about another 24 hours. So lovely wee recipe, you can do two things from it. So we're going to get right at it. I'm going to weigh out my ingredients and you can follow me. Okay, I'm just going to show you how to make this mousse. This mousse here will do 2 really large ones or 4 small. I think it's quite rich, so 4 small to me is good. We'll start off with really good chocolate, so I'm using a nice sea green and blacks here, using 7% cocoa content, so it's high in cocoa content in. But I know, especially if you're making for the kids, the best way to go with this for me is I would go 50-50 if that makes sense. So half dark chocolate, half milk chocolate, and it works. We do children's classes in the school, and I cut the dark chocolate back a bit because kids find it really hard with the real dark chocolate. So I'm getting my 150 grams of chocolate here. So dead simple, just getting this chocolate out of my wrapper. And then what we're going to do is put it over a bain-marie of water. People ask me, what's a bain-marie of water? It's the water underneath in a little pot, and it should never touch the bowl, okay? So it should be the steam really that's working the bowl. Break our chocolate into our bowl here, nice and noisy, okay? And then after that, we're going to put a tablespoon of glucose syrup, or you can use maple syrup works too, and also golden syrup works too. So a tablespoon of that, and it goes in with our chocolate. What does that do? That stabilises the mousse. It makes it all sort of, I call it, it's a bit like the glue. It sets it all together. Okay, and that goes. Next thing we do is quite simple. We get our cooker on, high heat at the start, and then down to medium heat. Okay, that's going to take a few minutes to do. People who aren't used to working with chocolate, what they do is they stand there with a spoon and they stir and they stir and they stir the chocolate. That is the last thing you want to do with chocolate. There's natural oils in chocolates and stuff, and if you stir the chocolate you can actually destroy the chocolate. So the whole thing here is to be patient, to watch it and let the chocolate melt itself without stirring. Another good way of doing this is cook this with your hand behind your back, okay? So no stirring whatsoever. While that's happening, I'm going to start weighing my cream out, and then I'm going to start my meringue. So while the chocolate's melting, this will distract you from wanting to stir. We're going to weigh out our cream. So it's 190 millilitres of good whipping cream. Not double cream, whipping cream. So we need the air there, okay? So we're weighing it out here. 190 mils. I like to weigh them out in scales, by the way, not the jugs, because I think the jugs, especially when you get a bit older like me, it's not great. But it's they're definitely more accurate using scales. So a lot of these probably out there don't use a scale when you're weighing this stuff, like cream, but we would as chefs. It's far more accurate. Next thing I'm going to have to do is the old-fashioned hand whisking the cream. There's a wee tip for you there too. When you're working with chocolate, you can grab a wee cloth there. Instead of giving it, you can use your cloth like that and give it a wee shake, okay? What we don't want is your spoon in there, okay? It's the last thing we want. Okay, so semi-whipped cream, so soft peaks that we would call that. So I'm going to whip the cream here, the soft peak. It's important we don't go over that soft peak either, okay, because we don't want that mousse too stiff. We still want to get that lovely air, fluffy, light mousse. Bit of a retro one, the old chocolate mousse, but it is a fantastic dessert. Another wee tip for you, the bigger the whisk, the bigger the bowl, you're going to whip your cream much quicker, okay? So if I was here with a small whisk and a small bowl, it would take me twice nearly as long to whip the cream. So the whole thing is here, you're creating air the whole time. So that didn't take long. If you see there, everyone, there's a lovely soft peak. So it should sort of peak like that, okay? Or you can run your whisk around there and make a figure of 8. Okay, have a look at my chocolate to see where we're at with the chocolate. The chocolate's melting really well. We don't want to overcook it either, obviously. Next thing I'm going to do is make a very, very, very simple egg white meringue. I discovered this through a recipe that a friend sent on to me, and it's really brilliant because I remember as a young chef always struggling with the egg whites for my mousse. And if you look at a mousse recipe, it's generally egg whites and sugar mixed. Where you have your sugars usually in with your egg yolk. You'll see in this recipe there's no egg yolk. But what we've done is we put sugar in here with our white, and basically that makes a meringue, and it's really brilliant. So I'm going to do my meringue now, so dead easy. It's 1 egg white to 60 grams of caster sugar. Okay, making a meringue, really important. Clean cloth, make sure your bowl's spotlessly clean. No foreign bodies in there, no wetness, no little bits of specks of dirt. Make sure your whisk nice and clean and dry. What I always do before I make a meringue, I run the whisk for a while on its own, and anything, especially if you're cleaning it, now and again you will get a wee bit of wetness in there. So we need, in the mousse and in the meringue for the mousse, we don't want any eggshell, any egg yolk. Okay, making a mousse, it's really important that the meringue is perfectly stiff. Okay, so in goes our lovely egg, like that. Importance of a meringue is fresh eggs. Okay, egg whites, if they're not fresh, start to break down. Egg whites about 80% water. So basically what we'll do in here is we'll put half of our sugar first on here, mixer on, and then we'll just mix away there until that becomes stiff. Okay, that's our egg white now. It's lovely and stiff. So basically it should come off like that, and you should have nice stiff egg white ready to go. So that's ready to rock. So now we're just going to pull the mousse together, which is so simple. Chocolate's melted, as you can see, not been stirred once. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our third of our cream in first. So remember, it was 190 mils. The first third goes in like that, and what's that do? That cools the chocolate right down. So that goes in like so. Start gently mixing it. And we're not fooling with it or anything at this stage. And I can see that I've treated this chocolate well because there's a lovely sheen coming off it, a lovely shine, okay? If I had my spoon in that chocolate mixing it in the bain-marie stage, you would lose that lovely shine. So it's practically tempering the chocolate is what we're doing. Okay, so we're mixing all that until we get it all combined. Another spoon for the cream. So our second third goes in. And you can still see here how lovely is shine of this chocolate coming. There's a lovely sheen coming off that chocolate. And that's a good sign. It's a good sign of good chocolate and me doing the right thing with the chocolate. This stage here, this is not so complicated, but you've got to remember this. Here we do now, we put the chocolate in the last amount of cream like this. It goes over this way, okay? Why do we do that? We're trying to keep more air in the cream so that we're going to fold the cream round the chocolate. Get all that chocolate out of there. Make sure there's no wastage. Okay, here we go. Mixing it all together, nice and gentle. Nearly folding, nearly like a folding technique. But again, you know, not going too slow. I like when I'm working with egg whites to use a metal spoon. Okay, this works better. Bit of egg white in there. Or meringue, should I say. In goes our meringue. And then we're creating that lovely air. As you see that I'm doing there. Lovely air with the meringue. And you just know already how light that's going to be. Look at that. Fantastic. I'll get a wee bit more egg white in there. Working nice and gentle, working the air around the bowl. Picking it up a wee bit in the middle like that with the point of your spoon. Okay. It's another wee technique there you would learn if you came to one of our classes here. So, looking in there basically to see, is there any stripes? Is the chocolate all the one colour? There's still a few wee stripes of colour in there. So we're wanting an even colour all the way around with the chocolate. I'm happy with that now. Glass. So you'll have 4 lovely glasses. I've got one set up here. Just put a lovely bit of mousse in the middle of that glass. That mousse is done. So our mousse is ready. Beautiful. 3 hours in the fridge. That will be set perfectly. If I was going to make a chocolate tart, I would line a 8-inch sandwich tin base with some biscuits or lady's fingers. Bit of amaretto over the top of it. The same mix set right on top, but 24 hours in the fridge. And that'll come out perfect. Blow torch or hot water around the side of the ring of the tin. That releases the tin nice and easy. And then we'll cut it into lovely portions. This is going to go into my fridge. 3 hours later, it'll come out. And then I'm going to garnish it with some lovely bits and pieces. Have a lovely freeze-dried raspberries, some cocoa nibs, a lovely retro chocolate mousse, delicious. I'm going to try a wee bit just to make sure it's okay. Works every time. It's delicious. It's light. If you want to put a wee bit of milk chocolate in there for the kids instead of dark chocolate, you go ahead.